This person needs your help ASAP. God chose you for this moment, my child, and before you try to understand who this person is or why this feels urgent, I need you to slow down and listen with your spirit. You did not arrive here by accident. You were not meant to scroll past this. I place these words in front of you because someone's life is intersecting with yours right now in a way that is not random, not coincidental, and not meant to be ignored. You may already feel it. A heaviness in your chest. A name that keeps coming to mind. A concern you cannot shake no matter how much you distract yourself. You have tried to reason it away, telling yourself you are overthinking, telling yourself it is not your responsibility. But the pull remains. That is not anxiety. That is discernment. That is me asking you to pay attention. This person is not calling out loudly. They are not posting dramatic messages. They are not asking directly for help. In fact, they may look functional on the outside. They may still show up, still smile, still say they are fine. But inside, they are unraveling quietly. And I need you to understand this clearly: the silence you are sensing is not peace. It is collapse happening slowly. I chose you for this moment because you are not the kind of soul who panics or turns away when things get heavy. You know how to sit with discomfort. You know how to notice what others miss. You know how to love without needing recognition. These qualities were not accidental. They were formed for moments exactly like this one. This person needs help ASAP, not because everything is about to explode outwardly, but because everything is caving inwardly. They are running out of emotional oxygen. They are holding themselves together with habits that are no longer working. They are tired of being strong. Tired of explaining. Tired of pretending they can manage one more thing. They have prayed, even if not in words. They have asked me for relief, for clarity, for someone to notice without them having to beg. And when they asked, I placed you in their path, not as a savior, but as a witness. Someone who could see without judging. Someone who could stay without fixing. Someone who could remind them they are not invisible. You may be wondering why this responsibility feels heavy. It is because love carries weight. But hear me carefully now. I am not asking you to rescue them. I am not asking you to solve their problems or sacrifice yourself. I am asking you to be present in a way that could change the direction of their life. There is a difference. Presence interrupts isolation. Attention interrupts despair. Compassion interrupts hopelessness. Sometimes that interruption is enough to keep someone going. This person may be closer than you expect. A friend. A family member. A coworker. Someone you interact with casually. Or someone you have been drifting away from without understanding why. Distance does not cancel assignment. In fact, sometimes it clarifies it. You may notice small signs. They cancel plans more often. They speak in vague exhaustion. They deflect serious questions with humor. They are more irritable, more withdrawn, or oddly numb. These are not personality changes. These are warning signals. I did not give you awareness to burden you. I gave it to you because awareness paired with love becomes intervention. You do not need perfect words. You do not need a plan. You do not need to confront them dramatically. What you need is courage to lean in instead of stepping back. To ask one honest question. To say, "I've noticed you haven't been yourself," and then actually listen. Listening is holy. They may not open up immediately. That is okay. Trust does not bloom on command. But every time you show up calmly, every time you do not dismiss their pain or rush to advice, you are creating safety. And safety is what allows truth to surface. I chose you because you will not make this about yourself. You will not demand gratitude. You will not disappear when the situation becomes inconvenient. You will understand that sometimes love looks like consistency, not intensity. But my child, I also need to protect you as I send you into this moment. You are not meant to carry this alone. You are not meant to absorb their pain as your own. You are not meant to ignore your limits. If you begin to feel overwhelmed, bring it to me. If you need support, seek it. Compassion without boundaries turns into exhaustion, and I did not choose you to break you. You may be wondering what happens if you do nothing. I do not speak this to shame you, but to clarify reality. Silence allows suffering to deepen. Distance allows despair to convince people they do not matter. Ignoring the nudge does not remove the need. It only delays the intervention. I am not asking you to fix the ending. I am asking you to show up in the middle. There may come a moment when this person finally admits how close to the edge they are. When words come out tangled and heavy. When you realize the situation is more serious than you thought. When that happens, stay grounded. Fear does not help. Calm presence does. Say things like, "I'm glad you told me," or, "You don't have to go through this alone." These words may seem small to you, but to someone drowning quietly, they are life rafts. And if the situation requires more help than you can provide, do not hesitate to encourage it gently. Helping someone seek support is not failure. It is wisdom. You are not replacing professionals. You are bridging isolation. I chose you because you are trustworthy with fragile moments. This assignment will not always feel rewarding. You may feel unappreciated. You may feel unsure if you are making a difference. But I want you to know this truth. Even when you cannot see the impact, it exists. Love does not always announce its results. There are moments in life where a single person standing up changes the entire trajectory of another soul. This is one of those moments. Do not underestimate the power of showing up before crisis becomes catastrophe. Do not underestimate the power of noticing before despair becomes decision. Do not underestimate the power of obedience when I ask you to care. You are not alone in this. I am working through you, not against you. I will give you the words when you need them. I will give you discernment when choices feel unclear. I will give you peace when the weight feels heavy. But you must take the first step. Reach out. Check in. Stay present. That is all I am asking right now. If this message stirred your heart, stay till the end of this journey with me. Like this message, share it with someone who may need awareness today, and subscribe so you do not miss what I reveal next. Some moments are sacred because they ask something of us, and this is one of them. My child, remain with me and do not rush your thoughts, because now I want to guide you through what happens after awareness. Not the dramatic moment, not the crisis point, but the quiet hours that follow when responsibility feels real and uncertainty tries to speak louder than wisdom. You have already been chosen to notice. Now you are being taught how to respond without fear. The person you are sensing does not need interrogation. They need steadiness. They do not need you to arrive with solutions already formed. They need you to arrive with a heart that can stay open when things feel unclear. Many people disappear at this stage. They back away once they realize the weight is real. I chose you because you do not run when things require patience. You may feel an internal debate rising. One voice tells you to step in. Another tells you to protect yourself. Both voices are trying to keep you safe in different ways. Listen closely now, because discernment lives between them. You are not being asked to abandon your boundaries. You are being asked to use them wisely. This person is struggling not only with circumstances, but with the belief that they are alone in those circumstances. Isolation distorts reality. It makes small problems feel unsolvable and temporary pain feel permanent. When someone feels unseen for too long, their inner voice becomes unkind. It begins to whisper lies about worth, burden, and irrelevance. Your presence interrupts that lie. But presence must be practiced intentionally. This is not about one conversation or one check-in. It is about consistency that says, I see you, without demanding performance in return. It is about staying curious instead of judgmental. Calm instead of reactive. Available instead of overwhelming. You may notice resistance when you reach out. Short replies. Deflection. Humor used as armor. Do not interpret this as rejection. It is protection learned through disappointment. When people have been let down before, they test safety before trusting it. That testing is not manipulation. It is fear trying to stay alive. Respond with patience. You may wonder how long this assignment lasts. I will not give you a timeline, because love does not operate on deadlines. What I will give you is clarity. You are not meant to carry this weight forever. You are meant to carry it long enough for truth to surface and support to expand. At some point, this person will need more help than you alone can provide. That is not a failure. That is the natural progression of care. Your role is not to replace others. Your role is to open the doors so others can enter. Encouragement toward support must come gently. Never as accusation. Never as pressure. Say things like, you deserve help, or you don't have to do this alone. Let the invitation breathe. Let them feel ownership over the next step. If they resist, do not argue. Resistance often hides shame. Shame cannot be pushed away. It must be met with compassion until it loosens its grip. I also want to speak to what may rise inside you unexpectedly. You may feel fear that you will say the wrong thing. Fear that you will make it worse. Fear that if you lean in, you will be responsible for what happens next. Hear me now. Responsibility does not mean control. Love is not about guarantees. It is about faithfulness. You cannot prevent every outcome. You can influence how someone feels while facing them. There may be nights when you lie awake thinking about what you saw, what you sensed, what you did not say. Bring those thoughts to me. Do not carry them alone. Intercession does not require constant worry. It requires trust. And my child, I need to protect you from one more danger. Do not let urgency turn into saviorhood. You are not the answer to their life. You are a messenger of care, not a replacement for hope itself. If you begin to feel indispensable, step back and breathe. True help empowers. It does not entangle. Healthy compassion knows when to rest. There may be moments when this person leans on you more heavily than expected. Moments when they contact you late, speak in circles, or seek reassurance repeatedly. This is where boundaries become love, not distance. You can say, "I care about you," and still say, "I need rest tonight." You can remain kind without becoming depleted. You are allowed to protect your energy. I did not choose you to burn out. I chose you to endure with wisdom. As you walk this path, watch for subtle shifts. A little more honesty. A little less deflection. A moment of vulnerability followed by relief. These are signs that safety is forming. Celebrate them quietly. Do not demand progress. Healing does not perform on command. There may come a moment when the truth emerges suddenly. When the struggle is named clearly. When the weight you sensed is spoken aloud. When that moment arrives, stay grounded. Breathe. Let silence exist if it needs to. Not every truth needs immediate response. Sometimes being heard is the healing. Your reaction will matter more than your words. Calm communicates safety. Steadiness communicates strength. Presence communicates love. And if the truth reveals danger, do not carry it alone. Reach for help immediately. Love is not secrecy. Protection sometimes requires action beyond conversation. If someone is at risk, intervening is not betrayal. It is obedience. I will guide you if that moment comes. I will not leave you guessing. You may not see immediate change. That does not mean your effort is wasted. Many turning points happen quietly before they show themselves outwardly. Seeds grow underground long before they break the surface. Trust the work you are doing even when you cannot measure it. I also want to remind you of something you may forget as you focus on them. Your life still matters. Your joy still matters. Your rest still matters. Do not put your life on pause while helping someone else survive theirs. Balance is not selfish. It is sustainable. You are allowed to laugh. You are allowed to feel lightness. You are allowed to continue living. Lightness does not betray seriousness. It strengthens resilience. My child, I chose you not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. Willing to notice. Willing to stay. Willing to love without applause. That willingness is enough. There will be moments when you doubt whether you heard me correctly. When you wonder if you imagined the urgency. When you think maybe someone else should step in. Remember this. You were not chosen instead of others. You were chosen alongside them. Your obedience creates space for others to respond. One action leads to another. One conversation opens another door. One moment of courage shifts an entire trajectory. You do not need to see the whole path. You only need to take the next right step. Reach out again if needed. Listen again if invited. Stay steady even when it feels quiet. I am with you in this. I am watching over both of you. I am working in ways you cannot see yet. Remain faithful. Remain compassionate. Remain grounded. This moment matters more than you realize. My child, stay with me and let your heart remain steady, because now we are entering the part of the journey where perseverance matters more than urgency. What you are doing may not feel dramatic. It may not feel like you are saving anyone. But this is the phase where quiet faithfulness becomes the difference between someone giving up and someone holding on. You may have noticed by now that helping someone does not move in straight lines. There are days when they seem better, lighter, almost like the concern you felt was exaggerated. And then there are days when the heaviness returns without warning. This back and forth can confuse you. It can make you question your instincts, make you wonder if you misread the situation. I need you to understand this clearly: inconsistency is not deception. It is the natural rhythm of someone fighting an internal battle. People who are struggling often conserve energy by masking pain when they can. They show strength when they have it and disappear when they don't. This does not mean the need has passed. It means the effort is exhausting. This is where many helpers grow discouraged. They expect visible progress. They expect gratitude. They expect a clear sign that their presence is working. But love that truly helps does not always offer immediate confirmation. Sometimes it only prevents things from getting worse. And prevention is powerful, even when it goes unseen. You may feel tempted to push harder when things seem stagnant. To ask more questions. To demand honesty. Resist that urge. Pressure closes doors that patience keeps open. Safety deepens when people feel they can approach you without fear of being overwhelmed. Instead, remain predictable. Remain kind. Remain available without hovering. Consistency builds trust in ways urgency never can. There may be moments when they pull away more noticeably. They may stop responding as often. They may cancel plans last minute. They may act irritated or distant. This can hurt you. You may feel rejected. But remember what I told you earlier: withdrawal is often self-protection, not dismissal. Do not chase them in panic. Do not punish them with silence. Do not interpret distance as failure. A simple message that says, "I'm here when you're ready," carries more weight than a dozen questions. I also want to speak to something happening inside you now. You may feel emotionally tired in ways you didn't expect. You may feel the weight of responsibility pressing on your chest. You may feel fear creep in late at night, whispering that if something goes wrong, it will be your fault. That voice is not from me. Responsibility does not mean control. Love does not mean ownership. Care does not mean blame. You are responsible for obedience, not outcomes. I want you to keep your heart soft without letting your mind spiral. When worry rises, bring it to me immediately. Do not let it grow roots. Prayer is not passive. It is active trust. When you pray, you are not avoiding action. You are anchoring it. You may also begin to notice that others around this person remain unaware. They laugh. They talk about ordinary things. They carry on as if nothing is wrong. This may frustrate you. You may wonder why you see what they don't. Why you feel the weight while others feel light. Do not let resentment grow there. Awareness is not evenly distributed. I reveal things to different people at different times for different reasons. You were shown because you can carry it without becoming cruel, careless, or self-centered. Others may be brought in later, when the foundation you are helping build is strong enough to hold more weight. Your role is not to expose this person to everyone. Your role is to protect their dignity while making space for truth. There is wisdom in timing. If there comes a moment when you believe this person is at immediate risk, you must act with courage. Love does not stay silent when safety is threatened. Reaching out for additional help in those moments is not betrayal. It is obedience. It is compassion with backbone. I will guide you if that moment arrives. You will not be alone in that decision. Until then, continue practicing grounded presence. This means you do not match their emotional highs or lows. You remain steady. You speak calmly. You model stability. People in distress often borrow nervous systems from those around them. When you are calm, it gives them permission to breathe. Do not underestimate this. There may be times when they test your availability unconsciously. Reaching out late. Asking the same questions repeatedly. Seeking reassurance again and again. This is not manipulation. It is fear trying to find something solid to lean against. Still, boundaries matter. You can be compassionate and firm at the same time. You can say, I care about you, and also say, I can't talk right now, but we can check in tomorrow. This teaches them something important: support does not disappear when limits are expressed. Healthy love does not require endless access. I want you to notice something else as well. As you stay present, you may find that your own heart is changing. You may become more patient, more discerning, more aware of emotional undercurrents. This assignment is shaping you too. Not to harden you, but to deepen you. Do not let fear convince you that this experience will damage you. When love is practiced with boundaries and trust, it strengthens rather than drains. There may be moments when progress appears in small, almost invisible ways. They might admit they're tired without joking. They might ask for help with something practical. They might say, I don't know what to do, instead of pretending they do. These moments matter. Do not overlook them because they are not dramatic. Healing often whispers before it speaks. You may also notice resistance in yourself. A desire for things to resolve quickly. A longing for reassurance that you're doing enough. That is understandable. Bring that desire to me. I will remind you that enough is not measured by speed or certainty, but by faithfulness. My child, I need to tell you something important now. This assignment is not endless. There will be a turning point. Either this person will accept deeper support, or the season will shift in a way that reduces your role. You are not being asked to stay forever in uncertainty. You are being asked to stay present while it lasts. Trust that I know when to release you. If at any point you sense that your involvement is becoming unhealthy, if you feel consumed or controlled by the situation, pause and seek counsel. Wisdom does not isolate. It collaborates. You are allowed to ask for guidance. You are allowed to say, I need help knowing how to help. I will honor that humility. Remember this truth when discouragement tries to take hold. Even if this person never says thank you, even if you never see the full outcome, your obedience matters. Love given quietly still echoes loudly in heaven. You were chosen not because you could fix everything, but because you could remain human in the presence of pain. Stay faithful to the small things. Stay consistent in your care. Stay anchored in me, not in fear. Every message you send with sincerity matters. Every moment you listen without judgment matters. Every boundary you hold with kindness matters. You are not wasting time. You are stewarding trust. And when this season eventually passes, you will look back and realize that even in the uncertainty, you were guided step by step. You will see how presence changed things that urgency never could. Remain calm. Remain loving. Remain grounded. I am with you in every moment of this, and I will continue to lead you as long as you are willing to follow. Do not give up. This work is holy, even when it feels ordinary. My child, stay with me and do not let weariness persuade you that what you are doing no longer matters. This is the part of the journey where faithfulness is tested not by fear, but by fatigue. You have stayed present. You have shown up. You have listened when it would have been easier to retreat. Now the work becomes quieter, and quiet work often feels invisible. But I see it clearly. There may be days now when nothing seems to change. No breakthrough conversations. No clear turning points. Just the same concerns repeating themselves in different forms. This is where doubt tries to speak. It tells you that you are stuck. That your efforts are not enough. That perhaps you misunderstood the urgency or exaggerated the need. I want you to hear me above that noise. Stillness does not mean stagnation. Silence does not mean failure. Waiting does not mean nothing is happening. Much of what heals a person happens beneath the surface, where no one can applaud it. You are learning how to love without immediate feedback. That is not a small thing. Many people are willing to help when results are quick and visible. Few are willing to stay when progress is slow and uncertain. This is why I trusted you with this moment. You are steady when others need proof. There will be moments when you feel tempted to withdraw emotionally to protect yourself. Not because you no longer care, but because caring has begun to cost you energy. This is understandable. Compassion requires fuel. That is why I keep calling you back to me. You cannot pour from an empty vessel, and you were never meant to. Come back to me often. Rest your thoughts with me. Release what you cannot fix into my hands. I will refill what you pour out when you return willingly. You may notice that the person you are helping begins to mirror your steadiness in small ways. They may breathe a little easier. They may speak more honestly, even if only in fragments. They may show up inconsistently, but with less fear than before. These are signs of safety taking root. Do not rush these signs. Do not demand acceleration. Do not compare them to what you hoped would happen by now. Growth follows trust, not timelines. There may also be moments when their struggle touches something unresolved inside you. Old fears. Old wounds. Old memories of times when you needed help and did not receive it. When this happens, acknowledge it gently. Do not push it away. Healing often comes layered, and sometimes helping others brings our own tenderness to the surface. This is not a weakness. It is an invitation. Bring those memories to me. Let me tend to them. I am not asking you to ignore your own healing while caring for someone else. I am weaving them together carefully, so neither is neglected. You may wonder when to speak and when to remain quiet. There is no formula. But there is a compass. If your words come from anxiety, pause. If your words come from love and clarity, speak gently. Fear urges action for relief. Love invites action for care. Learn to tell the difference. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stay. If there comes a moment when you feel resentment rising, pay attention. Resentment is often a signal that a boundary needs adjustment, not that love should end. You are allowed to recalibrate. You are allowed to say, I need space tonight, or I can't hold this conversation right now. These statements do not betray your assignment. They preserve it. Love without honesty becomes obligation. Obligation without rest becomes bitterness. I do not want bitterness to take root in you. You may also feel pressure from within to be the one who keeps everything together. Release that pressure now. You are not the foundation. I am. You are a support, not the source. When you remember this, your shoulders will lighten, and your heart will breathe again. If others begin to notice something is wrong and turn to you for answers, respond with wisdom. You are not required to share what was entrusted to you. Protect confidentiality unless safety requires otherwise. Trust is sacred. Handle it carefully. At the same time, do not isolate yourself completely. Choose one wise, grounded person to whom you can speak honestly without betraying trust. Wisdom thrives in community, not secrecy. Carrying everything alone will wear you down faster than the situation itself. I want you to recognize how much you have already learned. You are more patient than you were. More discerning. More aware of your limits. This assignment has refined you. Even if the outcome remains unclear, the growth within you is real. There will come a point when the season shifts. It may happen gradually or suddenly. The person may accept deeper help. Circumstances may change. Others may step in. Or the intensity of your role may lessen. When that happens, do not cling out of guilt. Trust that seasons end when their purpose is complete. You are not abandoning someone when you obey the next instruction I give you. You are not failing when your role changes. Faithfulness includes knowing when to stay and when to step back. Until that clarity arrives, continue walking one day at a time. Do not live ahead of yourself. Do not borrow worry from tomorrow. Today has enough meaning on its own. Check in when led. Listen when invited. Rest when needed. I will continue to guide you step by step. If fear tries to convince you that everything depends on you, reject that lie. If pride tries to convince you that only you can help, reject that too. I work through many hands. Yours is one of them, not the only one. And hear me now, because this truth will anchor you when doubt returns. Love offered without control never goes to waste. Even if outcomes differ from hopes, love still accomplishes its purpose. It preserves dignity. It interrupts despair. It reminds people they matter. That reminder alone can change a life. You are doing sacred work, even when it feels ordinary. You are showing up in a way that reflects my heart. That is enough. Remain humble. Remain steady. Remain connected to me. When the weight feels heavy, place it back into my care. I am strong enough to carry what you cannot. This season will not last forever. But the impact of your obedience will reach farther than you can see right now. Stay faithful. I am with you, and I am still working.